Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And as we're marking 50 years of bilateral relations between Egypt and the United Arab Emirates, we're glad to be joined over the phone by Dr. Heba Ashraf, economics professor, who will shed more light on the significance of this event. Good afternoon, Dr. Heba.
Good afternoon.
Dr. Heba, a two-day event in Cairo marking 50 years of bilateral relations between Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. How do you see the significance of this event that kicked off on Wednesday and continues till Friday, and how do you see the celebrations taking place?
As His Excellency President Sisi has said, it's a cherished and dear relationship that we really need to celebrate it for more than one day, of course, to deserve this very much. It's a message to the whole world that we are connected and united. It's not only a recent relationship, it has been extended across 50 years of a prosperous and deep relationship, very strong indeed. As His Excellency, the head of Arab League, Mr. Abu Ghait, has said, this is a role model relationship that people look for it as a lesson of how to deepen the relationship between each other. So I believe that, yes, it deserves more than one day for celebration, because this is a success story of itself.
Well, the celebrations are held under the title Egypt and UAE One Heart. What does this slogan reflect in your opinion?
For me, I heard it as a friendly and warm slogan. It shows the close ties between the countries. As you can imagine, the slogan itself provides you with the idea that it's one heart in one body, pumping the same blood. We're sharing a basic concept together that we all accept, and we are hoping for increasing this later on in the future. It's very welcoming and friendly, as I said. It shows how the relation is strong, not only on the diplomatic level, but also between the citizens of both countries.
Dr. Heba, Egypt was one of the first countries to support the Union of the United Arab Emirates in 1971 and was quick to support it internationally and regionally. Would you tell us more about the historical Egyptian-Emirati ties?
Ever since 1971 and independence, when UAE has gained its independence, of course, under the lead of His Excellency late Sheikh Zayed, and how this founder has united UAE in a very strong and efficient way. It has been looking for using its resources in order to develop its country and to be a unique country all over the world. And of course, Egypt has supported this very much ever since the declaration in 1971 of independence, with expertise, on all levels, education, health, and everything. And moreover, UAE has taken these expertise, melted it with international standards, and provided a success story for the whole world and a support for other countries in order to develop itself and boost its economic growth.
Right. How far signing of the industrial partnership for sustainable economic growth boosted the bilateral economic ties between the two countries?
Actually, signing any agreement aiming at sustainability makes a little bit of comfort between the two sides that we are looking for further cooperation later on in future. And this means that we are increasing the bilateral connections, especially on the industrial level, boosting this field very much. As you know, industry is usually the fuel of development. If you depend only on one sector, like services or anything that is like this, and of course, UAE has a very strong experience because it has experience depending on industries and services, and now they are making the balance between both. So we've learned from this experience very much because they have a strong background in it. And we're trying to boost industries because industries will actually have a very good implication over economic growth.
Yes. Dr. Heba, what's the volume of trade and investment between Egypt and the United Arab Emirates?
Well, actually, Egypt with UAE is very strongly tied economically. You can see that Egypt is the fifth largest trade partner for UAE in the Arab region. As for Egypt, of course, UAE is the second largest trade partner in the region. The non-oil trade between both countries amounts up to 7% out of the total trade of the Arab region, which is a very big percentage of a relation between only two countries. The MENA region has a lot of countries as well. So 7% is a prominent number. Actually, we are looking forward to increase it later on. You're having about 1,300 companies or more operating in Egypt, Emirati countries operating in Egypt in many fields, especially the modern and new introduced ones. You have about 28 billion of cumulative investments on ground. Many of them is direct investments. Most of the companies that are operating in Egypt are actually working with direct investments, which is actually fueling and boosting the economic growth and development very much. The trade is boosting very much. You know, from January till May 2022, the non-oil trade between both countries was mounting to 3.2 billion, which is a very big number. So all the numbers are promising and getting better year after the other, and in short term as well.
Yeah. Well, how can we enhance or further enhance means of cooperation between the two countries in light especially of what Dr. Hala Al-Said, Minister of Planning and Economic Development, statement where she said that Egypt counts on the promising opportunities of cooperation between the two countries?
Yes, it's a promising and prosperous cooperation actually. And in any cooperation, if you want to enhance it, you need the will of both sides. And this is given in this situation. As I said, it's a unique relationship. Both sides are willing to support each other unconditionally, which is very important because it's not support with many conditions and stress points. It's a friendly cooperation. Both sides are trying to support each other in the fields that they have interest in. Also, it's a cooperation with no boundaries and no limits. So all these things, besides the diplomatic will, the economic will, and the will of both citizens of both countries, of course, will play an important role to enhance this later on.
According to Dr. Hala Al-Said, also, she said Egypt was particularly interested in using the event to open new fields of joint investments with the United Arab Emirates. Now, would you shed more light on these new fields?
The Emirati experience is very unique because they have added new techniques of management for all fields that has been there. For example, agriculture, for example. They have introduced new means in order to overcome the problems of change in weather and so on. So we're taking these examples as a role model for us in order to enhance this field as an old, well-known field, of course. For example, introducing new fields like digitalization and digital transformation is very important. And we are actually doing our best in order to digitalize, as you know, many of the services in Egypt. We're taking expertise from UAE because they have had a lot of steps in this field and remarkable steps, of course. Transportation also, we have had many joint companies together that are working in transportation and providing the latest expertise in using eco-friendly technology and power and fuel, of course. We have tried the partnership with Emirati companies and it's very much successful. The services are getting better. Also fields like financial sector with all its developments, money transfer and all this stuff, pharmaceuticals, health, logistics and services. They have a very strong background in this field and we are hoping to increase the cooperation between us. Many different fields that we are actually using the Emirati role model example in it in order to develop the things that we have here in Egypt.
Also, United Arab Emirates Minister of Cabinet Affairs Mohammed Al-Gargawi said that ties between Egypt and the United Arab Emirates are not limited to diplomatic and leadership ties, but also operate on the level of people to people from Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. What's your take on that?
Yes, and as I said, the people themselves, the citizens of both countries, they hold very good feelings to each other. Emiratis, when they come to Egypt, they feel home, and Egyptians, when they go to United Emirates, they feel home as well. Both countries are tied also on a cultural level. Even there is a cultural media forum that has been created in order to and make people from both sides meet together and share their ideas on other levels other than the diplomatic and economic one. These things get people more closer and make the ties between the countries more deep, okay? Because even on the cultural level, they are both interested in things together. So this, of course, will enhance also the other levels like the political and economic as well. And by the way, it's like a triangle. Both sides must be there in order to complete the picture.
Right. One of the United Arab Emirates' key policies is to support culture and art also in various countries, especially Egypt, where the United Arab Emirates supported Egypt with regards to the Bibliotheca Alexandria by providing a donation of $21 million. Now, how do you view this kind of cooperation in the field of art and culture?
I feel that this will bring people together. You know, art and culture unite people and has a strong message and very fast, and people feel interested more in sharing this together. We have seen singers from UAE singing a lot of positive and amazing songs showing the unity between the two countries, and from Egypt as well. We've been holding a lot of cultural events in Egypt, joint between people from Egypt and people from UAE. So this was bring people together. This also engaged the youth, and you know how much we cherish the role of youth either on the Emirati level or in the Egyptian level. Youth are the fuel for development. Art makes people connected together. So when youth of both countries are connected, this means that we are at least sustaining a good future for these two sides, okay? They are willing to complete what we have started. This historic relationship will keep up forever, and strong ties will be there with the help of art and culture. Of course, supporting the cultural events and sharing the ideas from both sides is going to enhance this very much.
Right. Well, also still with art and culture, a concert was organized on the first day of the event, Kulthum in Abu Dhabi. This celebrates that in November 1971, a few days ahead of the declaration of independence of the United Arab Emirates, Egypt and the Arab world's great singer visited Abu Dhabi. Now, how do you see the effect or impact of such events?
I see it stressing the historical relationship and reminds people, because there are some people who have actually experienced this event before. Elder people have seen this. Now they are going to explain what happened to the other generations. People will feel that they are experiencing this remarkable event again, but after 50 years. This is very promising and provides people with the idea that we are connecting future with past as well. We are not going to head for the future without remembering what we have achieved before. And it was a very nice event that reminds people that they are strongly tied together. It was a kind of a cultural support provided to the Emiratis at 1971 to tell them that Egypt is at your back and we are supporting you with all our powers. And it's just how Kulthum has played an important role in the culture of Egypt and other Arab countries, and how she united with her songs all the Arabs together. So now we are making a flashback, of this event, and this, I feel, it has a very positive implication over both sides. And by the way, it's not the first time they have introduced the idea of making this event. They have done it before in hologram, of course, and now it is repeated again. And that's what makes it more realistic and reminds people of what has been done before in the 1971.
Well, Dr. Heba Ashraf, economic professor, many thanks for your valuable insight. And ladies and gentlemen, now we go to this short break and we'll be right back.